So after reading chapter 1, which was the legal framework affecting public schools, we tackled the discussion question that states who is controlling education. This question over the past couple of years has become less clear. Explain how the 10th and 14th Amendments give control to the states. Also address how the federal government was able to control education through the No Child Left Behind Act, and how the recently passed Every Student Succeeds Act impact this control. So we broke this down into 4 components. I'll start with the 10th Amendment, and the book states that the 10th Amendment reserves education as a state function, thus placing the primary responsibility for public schools on the individual states. This is because the Constitution does not mention education in its writing. This gives the states the ability to adopt, develop, and implement their education systems with state-regulated curriculum, funding, and governance.
And to kind of reiterate what Alex said about the adoption of the 14th Amendment and how it gave control to the states, the 14th Amendment addresses the due process rights of students and school personnel to ensure that equal protection under the laws and fundamental fairness occur in matters involving deprivation of liberty and property. This amendment ensures that states must operate their school districts in such a way that does not discriminate against an individual's constitutional rights. It also mandates all citizens are provided equal educational opportunities.
In 2001, the No Child Left Behind, or NCLB, policy was passed. It aimed to close the achievement gap by holding school districts more accountable for student achievement. The federal government implemented NCLB to increase the federal government's role in education by developing academic standards, mandated state testing, and transparency in the student achievement. This federal government tied NCLB to federal funding for school systems. So if schools fail to meet policy requirements, federal funding would be held from those school systems in some way.
Then in 2015, the Every Student Succeeds Act, or ESSA, was passed, and this then replaced the No Child Left Behind. Now, this policy's goal was to give more power back to the states while still holding school systems accountable for student achievement. Every Student Succeeds Act kept some aspects of the No Child Left Behind, but it aimed to meet local school districts' needs in the process. It implemented state-determined goals, more flexibility in testing, state-regulated teacher requirements, and locally determined funding. This act moved educational power back to the states with their policies, meeting local needs, while still focusing on accountability and equality.